Hello, everybody. So, welcome to today's podcast. Today, we're going to speak about a really huge, important topic, which is literary techniques. Today, me and my partners will be answering some questions and we'll be discussing about it. What is the difference between a literary device and a literary technique? And also, what is a literary techniques and how is important in this world?
Hi people, how are you today? Okay, the important is to make story more interesting. They help readers understand the message, they create emotion and image, and they improve writing quality. Okay, and different between a literary techniques and literary device are techniques, a general method of writing used to tell story or express idea.
Literary device are techniques or tools that the authors use to enhance the meaning of the words instead of the literal meaning. They rhyme beyond the words that they literally mean. I would like to speak about another question, which is how does imaginary help the readers understand and enjoy a story? Imaginary helps readers understand and enjoy a story because it creates pictures on their mind. Authors use descriptive language, right? But we have five senses. We have sight, we have hearing, we have smell, we have taste, we have touch. This allows the reader to imagine the whole situation by just reading literally sentences. What is symbolism exactly? So symbolism is a literary device in which an object, a person, or a place, or an action represents a deeper meaning beyond and is literally the definition. Authors use symbolism to create communication ideas, emotions, or themes in a more powerful and creative way. So now I would like to talk about another two important questions, which is what is foreshadowing and how is create suspense for readers, and also how do metaphor and simile make writing more interesting and more effective.
With simile, compares using explicit words such as like or as. For example, her heart was like ice. In metaphor, compares by directly storing one thing is another. For example, her heart was ice. And why they make reading more interesting and effective. In vivid imagery, they paint a clear, instant picture in the reader's mind, replacing boring, literal descriptions with sensory details.
What is irony and what types of irony we can find?
Well, irony is basically when things don't happen the way you expect them to. Sometimes it's when someone says the opposite of what they really mean. For example, if it's raining a lot and someone says, "What a beautiful day," that's verbal irony. There are also other types like situational irony, when something unexpected happens, and dramatic irony, when the audience knows something that the characters don't.
And how does personification help the author to make descriptions more vivid?
When human qualities are given to things that aren't humans. For example, instead of saying the wind was blowing, another might say the wind was singing. Expressions like this help readers imagine the scene more clearly and feel more connected to it.
What role does repetition play in literature and also in storytelling?
Well, Sarah, that's a very interesting question. Repetition is used to emphasize important ideas, themes, or emotions in a story by repeating words, phrases, or events. Authors can help the readers to remember key points and create a stronger impact. It can also make writing more engaging and rhythmic. In addition, repetition can help highlight the author's message and make certain parts of a story more memorable, specific for the audience.
And also, how does literary techniques help develop characters and also themes?
Literary techniques help authors to show a character, personality, feelings, and growth through a story. They also help to communicate the main themes or message more clearly. Techniques such as symbolism, imagery, and foreshadowing allows the readers to better understand the deeper meaning of the text. These techniques make stories more interesting and help the readers to connect more with the characters and the overall message of the work.
Does literary techniques can be found in TV shows and songs or movies?
Yeah, sure. Literary techniques can be definitely found in movies, TV shows, and songs, and that's because they help the creators to communicate messages, ideas, or emotions in a more effective way. For example, metaphors are common use in songs where artists like compare two things to express their feeling in a more creative way. Symbolism is often used in movies where it takes like an object, a color, an animal, or setting represents a deeper meaning.
Which one of those can be the more effective? Do you think is the most effective or and why?
And I think symbolism is the most effective uh, literally technique, and it's because it adds depth and meaning to a history without having to explain everything like directly, and it also encourages the people to think about what they are watching or they are reading.
How do literary techniques affects the reader emotions understanding a text?
Literary techniques are the tools authors use to control how a reader experiences a story, not just what they think, but what they feel. Metaphors and similes help readers connect new ideas to things they already understand. Foreshadowing builds tension and gives readers hope. Imagery pulls you so deeply into a scene that you forget you are reading. You feel like actually there. Techniques like irony can completely change how you see a story, creating those satisfying moments.
And what is important for students to learn about literature techniques?
Learning literary techniques goes way beyond English class. It teaches a student how language is used to influence people. Once you can spot a rhetorical device or understand why repetitions creates emotion, you start noticing it everywhere in ads, political speeches, even social media posts. It makes a student more aware and less easy to manipulate. On the creative side, it also gives them real tools to express themselves better in their own writing. And there's a bigger benefit too. Studying techniques builds empathy because it pushes you to ask why an author made a choice, which means thinking carefully about someone else's perspective.
And that's it. Thank you for joining us to today's podcast, and also check it out all of the videos that we have. Thanks for your attention and for your listening. Bye bye.